Listen, have you ever felt like you're constantly performing, trapped in a role designed by everyone but yourself? For years, you have been praised for being agreeable, compliant, the perfect good girl. Yet this relentless pursuit has left your spirit exhausted and your true self buried deep. But here is the strange truth. The good girl is not just a role, it's a cage that has slowly suffocated your authentic power. So this video is your guide. We're not going to talk about becoming chaotic or reckless. This is about a profound journey inward. Over the next 10 minutes, we will explore how integrating your powerful, untamed wild woman is not only liberating, it is essential for your survival. The performance is over. Your true, untamed life is about to begin.
Listen. So let's unmask this performance. Once upon a time, you were taught that your value was not in your truth, but in your silence. You learned your worth was in being agreeable, not authentic. So every day, you learned to silence your own voice to keep the peace. You mastered the art of the polite nod when you disagreed, the automatic yes when you were already overwhelmed. It became a reflex, a survival skill. The good girl mask wasn't just a disguise, it became a second skin. But here is the quiet tragedy. The price for this performance is your life force. It is the deep, silent emotional depletion that you feel in your bones at 3 in the morning. It is the quiet resentment that whispers, "What about me?" It is the slow, creeping disconnect from your own soul. And science now gives this a name. It is called emotional labor. Studies from places like the American Sociological Review show a direct link between this constant performance of agreeableness and higher rates of anxiety, depression, and chronic burnout in women. This is not in your head. It is a documented phenomenon. So that deep exhaustion you feel, it is not a flaw in your character. It is the logical price of a lifetime spent in a role that was never truly yours. It is the sound of your authentic self, your wild woman, suffocating beneath the weight of expectations. But what happens when the mask begins to crack? When the true face, beneath, the wild one, demands to be seen? That is where the real journey begins.
Listen. So the mask begins to crack. And what is underneath? Let's be very clear. This is not about becoming reckless or abandoning your responsibilities. This is about reclaiming the part of your psyche that speaks the soul's native language. We call her the wild woman. She is your instinct, your intuition, your gut feeling. She is the part of you that knows how to heal, how to create, and when to say no. For decades, the good girl archetype has demanded that you silence her, that you civilize her, that you ignore her wisdom in favor of societal approval. And in midlife, after decades of this suppression, her voice becomes an urgent call. It shows up as a deep yearning for authenticity, a hunger for a life that feels real, not performed. Here is the secret. That persistent feeling of emptiness you have, that sense of disengagement from your own life, it is not a void. It is the echo of her absence. It is the pain of a soul disconnected from its own wild, instinctual nature. She is the vital pathway back to your inner power, the compass pointing to your true north. But how do you begin to hear her language again after a lifetime of ignoring it? How do you distinguish her voice from the script society gave you? That
is the next step on our path.
Listen, so how do you tell the difference? How do you separate your soul's true voice from the noise of societal programming you've internalized for decades? You begin with a gentle act of excavation. I call this the 2 columns ritual, and it is the most powerful first step you can take. Here is what you do. Take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On one side you write, "What does society want?" And on the other, "What does my soul want?" Start with something small, not your whole life, just one area. Maybe it's how you should spend your Saturday morning. Under the society column, you might write, "Be productive, run errands, clean the house, answer emails." These are the voices of your inner critic, the guardian of the good girl script. Then you pause, you take a breath, and you listen for a quieter voice. Under the soul column, you might write, "Sit in the sun with coffee, read a book, do nothing at all." At first, the soul's voice will be a whisper, and the critic's voice will be a roar. That is okay. The goal is not to silence the critic. It is simply to recognize that there are 2 different voices. This act of discernment is radical. It is the beginning of setting an internal boundary. It is the first step in reclaiming your own mental and emotional territory. But once you can hear her, how do you begin to embody her? How do you access those dormant instincts in the real world? That is our next courageous step. Listen, so you can hear her whisper. Now comes the courageous part, giving her a voice and a body. This is not about grand gestures. This is about small, sacred acts of rewilding your inner landscape. You start with creative expression, without the goal of creating anything beautiful. This is vital. Sing off-key in your par. Doodle on a piece of paper with no purpose. Write one sentence in a journal that is fiercely, unapologetically true. This is not about art. It is about bypassing the critic and accessing the raw, primal energy of your soul. Then you move your body. For decades, the good girl has held herself still, tense, and small. Put on one song, and for 3 minutes, move in any way your body wants, without judgment. This reconnects your mind to the instinctual wisdom stored in your cells. And finally, you step into nature. For just 5 minutes without your phone, and you simply notice the wind, a single leaf. This is her native language. And here is your first spell of liberation. This week, I invite you to intentionally break one very small pattern of people-pleasing. Say no to an unimportant request. State a preference for dinner. It is a small act of self-advocacy that sends a powerful message to your psyche. I am listening. I am here. These small acts are seeds, and from them, a powerful, unapologetic self begins to grow. But what does that fully integrated woman look like? That is the final part of our journey today. Listen, this is the woman you are becoming. Not a chaotic force, but an integrated one. She is fierce in her love, clear in her boundaries, and unapologetic in her truth. The profound joy you will feel is not the joy of getting what you want. It is the quiet, unshakable peace of finally living in alignment with your own nature, regardless of external approval. This is your authentic individuation. So I invite you now to join this movement of women bravely reclaiming their spirits. Declare your intention in the comments below. Simply write the words, "I am unleashing my wild woman." And once you unleash her, how do you handle the unmet expectations from a world that preferred you small? In the next video, we will explore why those disappointments are not a setback, but a sacred call for even deeper integration. Thank you for walking this path with me.